Look up, look way up. I introduce you to my garden. A lot of people have been asking if they would maybe get a chance to come visit me sometime this summer, and I sure hope so. But if you don't, this is the beginning of my garden season. This is the day that I've spent a lot of time outside. I love this season as much as I love Christmas, as much as I love Disneyland. Can you see that pot, that big pot on the ground? That has all the plant information, plants that I purchased this year. So I'm going to go through that, make sure I've fertilized and tended to the plants that the way they've asked. And then the pot down below there, you can see a lot of kitchen scraps. I'm going to bring that to the chickens after I'm done here. And I'm going to sit here with a cut of watermelon and maybe a cup of lemonade with mint, because I'm getting so much mint in the garden already. First year our lilacs have bloomed, and I especially love these lilacs because they were a gift from a neighbor. Every time I'm given a plant of any sort, I always remember who gave it to me, and it's special to me. So come into my greenhouse, or you could call it my potting room. Whatever it is, it works to grow plants. And I've been doing a lot in here today. I took the patio tables because they're really getting old anyways, and I put them in here so that I could take all the trays of seedlings that I had in the homeschool room and let them get some sun in here if I didn't plant them already. Today is May 16th, I think, Saturday, and I have planted a bunch of squash in the garden and kind of hoping that they'll do okay. I don't think it's going to freeze anytime soon, and I'm right down by the river, so it really does help. So you can see I have a lot more tomatoes and peppers than I normally do. There's calendula, gotta have that for soap making. I've got, this is cabbage. I like using cabbage. Really, I like sauteing cabbage or roasting it in the oven. It's something that we did out of necessity when we were in Kenya, and it was really delicious, just sprinkled with oil, olive oil and salt. And I think those are eggplants, or at least I hope they are, because the sign said so. Most plants I recognize. Some years I don't put tags on them, and I regret it every single time, and yet I still tell myself I will remember, and I don't. These are Snapdragons. Don't even know where I'm going to plant them, but I have like an entire garden full of them. I have been painting signs for the chicken coop, and you can see this sign is well used, so I'm going to have to get rid of it and try again. These are the names of everyone in Cluckingham Palace, including our rooster, Henry VIII. And on the front of Cluckingham Palace, I have each of their names. So I'm working on that right now, especially on rainy days. Under that, you can't see it, but is a lot of basil. What else do we have? There's a few pots that I have here that haven't found an actual pot because I've purchased some and have not yet seen them, so I'm going to do that. I have to keep them nice and moist or else they'll dry out. I've tried to pot certain things that no one recommends potting, spinach, but when it's February, I get kind of eager to plant anything that will grow in a pot. That's the garden. Oh, there's a chicken out. That is our cherry tree. One of my research projects this week is to figure out what I need to spray it with to keep it actually alive and healthy and maybe actually grow some cherries. This week I finished in a pretty rough way the rest of the chicken fence. Kind of proud. You can see in between these two posts on the right, I'm intending to build a gate. Obviously I have to reinforce the posts a bit more because one's leaning. Pretty proud of my construction job, which is totally not my thing. It's not what we do. Let's see. And I'm going to show you way down here the rest of my seedlings. I've got, what is this? I think those are Brussel sprouts, right? And the ones on the bottom, I forget. Oy. Watermelons on the bottom, especially grown from my cousin seeds from Creston. And at the top, you tell me. Lots of basil. I did grow, or attempted to grow a lot of basil because you really can't have enough basil. I use basil for everything right through the summer. I would love to have enough for the winter, and that never happens. I try to grow rosemary and basil throughout the winter, and it is almost impossible. It will not stay alive. These 2 pots here I planted specially for the chickens. So I'm going to cover them with chicken wire, and once a day I'll bring them in the afternoon into their little run and let them nibble on the tops, but I'll wait until they get pretty solid, and then I can clean them up a bit, and I'll take them away again because chickens will literally clear absolutely everything. So you can't leave anything for them. This is my sink. Once upon a time when I built this house, I was asked did I want to put a sink in here, and still to this day I don't see value of an actual sink. But I have a, a mop pail, a clean mop pail, where I have water. I can wash my feet, I can scrub my fingers before I go inside the house, and I also can wash, pots, little plastic pots that I reuse. And hey, I wanted to introduce you to my new shoes. There's a reason I showed you those. I won't stay on my feet long, but these shoes are from Crocs, and they are cute in my opinion. I'm more of a navy gal, but this black will have to do because I need shoes. I don't have any summer shoes. Until yesterday, I was wearing rubber boots, and these are waterproof, which is kind of handy. They're not that expensive, and I love them. They're great. So, who do we have here? 2 chickens. Yeah, so the chickens, 4 of them are smart enough to get out of the chicken run. They climb up a 8-foot wall, rock wall. Okay. Oi. And I'm not going to give them full rein just because they're clever enough to climb that wall. But they're kind of pretty though, aren't they? Just watching them walk around. What they aren't is clean. So that is one of the major reasons I didn't want them on my veranda anymore. I love chicken, roast chicken. I love eggs. I love having them. I think they're super cute, and they're really gross. Truth. This is where I'll be in the afternoon sitting with a nice book. Okay, so I have done something I don't normally do. Up front here, I've potted a bunch of tomatoes in what I think is not a very attractive bunch of pots, but it will grow tomatoes, and that's my goal. And in the back is a bunch of pots with potatoes. If I was having my bed and breakfast this summer, which I don't think is going to happen, I would love to. I absolutely loved it last summer. If you haven't heard of my bed and breakfast, you should come. Maybe next year, somewhere in April, Giverny of the Mountains. I'll leave the link at the bottom of this post. Well, I would never put pots out like this or pails, but that whole food sufficiency thing, going into the grocery store and kind of wondering, you can't actually get everything anymore? Yeah, so I'm not into that. I can grow my own food. And of course, I can't really be fully self-sufficient. Nobody is truly that self-sufficient. I know a couple people actually, they're awfully close, and they put in an incredible amount of work. And I'm not up for that kind of work. Or cow, because as you might imagine, the only grass I have is actually this little patch and around the front yard. That's not where you're going to put a cow. I have a septic field that has green grass on it as well. Probably not a great place for a cow. It's enough that we have this gal. Hi, Violet. Yeah, hi. Okay, so I'm going to take you to the garden.